3,000 players online, 1,500 in the Discord stage, and their new game mode released. Not a bad day for the Mineclub team with their new finished game and the servers running smoothly. This was the release of Dodgeball, Mineclub's newest game in over 3 months. But what is Dodgeball? How does it work? And why do some players feel disappointed with the release whilst others love it? Well, in this video, I'll be explaining what Dodgeball is, some tips on how to play it, the community's reaction, and much more. But very quickly, if you could click the subscribe button, it would mean a lot and it is always appreciated. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Dodgeball is the new game mode that has just been released on the Mineclub server. After 3 months since laser tag's release, Dodgeball finally came out on September 25th, being the 5th game on the server. Dodgeball is like no other game mode yet on Mineclub. Usually in Mineclub's game modes, they consist of 4 teams with 4 players each. However, in Dodgeball, there is only 2 teams with 6 players being on both sides. When you first spawn into the game, each player spawned at the back of their side waiting for the game to start. Once the game starts, you are able to run up to the middle and pick up the dodgeball by left clicking it. You can also pick them up by running over it if one is on the ground on your side. You start with 3 lives and each time you are hit with a dodgeball you lose 1. This applies to the other team as well, meaning each team has 18 lives. But there is also a small chance that a dodgeball turns into a golden ball. The golden ball is much faster than a regular dodgeball and eliminates all of someone's lives if they are hit. The objective of the game is to eliminate the entire enemy team before the 5-minute timer runs out. If neither teams have been eliminated when the timer runs out, the team with the most lives left wins, otherwise it's a draw. Some tips I have are to always click on the balls rather than running over them, as it is much faster. I would also suggest that when you don't have a ball, to stay closer to the back of the court, so you have more time to react to dodgeballs coming at you. This applies vice versa as well, to when you have a ball, move closer to the middle to get an easier shot at another player. The dodgeballs are not very fast, so I suggest aiming your shot predicting where your enemy is going to move to. This will give you the best chance at hitting your target. This again applies opposite, so if you don't have a ball, make sure your movement is unpredictable for the enemy team. So that's Dodgeball, the game mode. But why not dive deeper into the topic? For example, why were some people so quick to react badly for such a new game? Well, with no game mode for over 3 months, perhaps some players were overestimating how good Dodgeball would be. So when they played it for the first time, their high expectations failed them. While there were a few updates between this time, most notably being housing beta, I myself and even the owners themselves agreed that there had been a lack of updates coming out the last few months, as they had been focusing on the back end of the server, securing that servers will be working properly for when Mineclub's player base starts to grow. This is most likely to begin happening pretty soon, with Mineclub starting their marketing campaign by having adverts on YouTube to bring in more players. So with the focus of this, the lack of updates annoyed the player base, and some found it hard to continue playing the same games every single day. But luckily, Mineclub does have enough content to hold all these players' attention, with key factors such as the marketplace being an infinite grind. If the marketplace didn't exist, the server would be much smaller. Trading custom hats and items have appeared in few Minecraft servers, if any at all, so Mineclub is unique for this and it keeps the players playing on the server. For a while, all they did was hold the concurrent player count. The server was not growing much, but not shrinking. But now they have finished these focuses, we of course have ended up back to the release of Dodgeball. Mineclub is now beginning to push out much more content for the players to help increase the player count. Dodgeball was executed well because it was finished and polished over completely and not released as a half-done game. While there were some hints that the game was due to release weeks earlier, it still had the same effect of a successful game release for Mineclub. It may not have surpassed the player count for when laser tag came out, even though the server is much bigger now, but that was of course due to it being quite a bit of time between the releases. The amount of people who knew about it coming out might have been slightly less, with the server having a much more consistent player base in the last few months, but with another new game mode promised in a month or so and many updates such as the Halloween event due to come out, it's likely laser tag's record will be passed, setting a new highest play count to then try and improve again. Apart from a minority who are unhappy with the game mode, Dodgeball was well received by the community and will most likely be one of their most popular game modes. While repetitiveness could come into place with the game being a little limited, it's bound to be a game mode that will attract new players to have a good first experience with the server. And that is the update of Mineclub's newest game mode, Dodgeball.